morning and welcome to Cawfeetawk. I tried that Q&A yesterday. Yesterday? I'm making up words. I tried that Q&A thing yesterday for the first time. There's like a feature on Facebook that you can do, and it's hard to keep up with the questions because they come up as comments, but they keep reloading. So I'm jumping all around. If I didn't get to your question, I'm sorry. I did the best I could, but it was not easy. But I do want to take a second to answer some of the more popular questions, because if I answer them now, maybe it'll be satisfying for you. One of the number one question is, has Charlie had any other experiences with my grandmother? And the answer to that is yes. Charlie has had other experiences with my grandmother. They haven't been on camera because obviously I can't walk around Charlie following her with my iPhone. And they haven't been at night when I'm making videos with her. One was when I was leaving for New York. One time she said to me, "Are you gonna go see Gigi?" And I said, "Baby, you know Gigi's in heaven." And she said, "Are you gonna see Gigi's dolphin?" Now, there's no way that Charlie would know that my Gigi had a dolphin, because dolphins are not common animals. My grandmother lived in an apartment in New York City, and behind the apartment was a park, and in that park was a dolphin, like a cement dolphin that I grew up sitting on and taking pictures on. My mom must have 100 pictures of us on that dolphin, and Gigi used to say it was her dolphin. It was her pet dolphin. Another time, out of nowhere, we were getting ice cream in the garage, and I said to Charlie, "Do you want vanilla or chocolate?" And she said chocolate. And I gave it to her, and she said, "And Gigi wants chocolate." And I was like, "Oh, really?" And she was like, "Gigi loves chocolate." And another thing about my grandmother, chocoholic, even with diabetes, would sneak chocolate, hide it. She was obsessed. These are things that Charlie just wouldn't know. There will be skeptics who say, "I must have told her, she must have overheard it." And you know what? Is there an off chance that somewhere I was telling somebody about my grandmother's dolphin and Charlie overheard it and knew to use it in the right context? Sure. Or it could be that Charlie has some special connection to my grandmother that I have chosen to believe because it makes me feel good. And like that Friends episode when Phoebe thought her mom came back as a cat, and her comment to Ross and Chandler and those guys was, "What is the big deal if I believe that my mother is the cat? Why does it bother you so much? Who cares what I believe?" So that's how I feel about Charlie and my grandmother. But I 100% believe, because I see Charlie oftentimes look in the corner of her room and smile. Charlie doesn't sit still for anything unless she's holding her night-night. So out of nowhere, she'll just look up into the corner of her room and smile and stay there and then come back to me. Whatever. The next question that I get a lot is, what was the other one that you guys were asking me? Charlie. Good Night Gracie. That's a big one. How did we come up with Good Night Gracie? So George Burns is an actor. He's one of my favorite actors. He passed away a long time ago. His wife was Grace. They had a nighttime variety show, the George and Gracie show. Or George and Grace, whatever it was called. George Burns, I don't know what the show was called. Anyway, at the end of each show, they would play off Grace's ditzy demeanor, but really she was brilliant. But they would play like she was super ditzy. And he would say, "Say goodnight, Grace." And she would go, "Oh, good night." It is actually false. People think she said, "Oh, good night, Grace," like as if she was so stupid. He said, "Say good night, Grace." She didn't, but that became the running joke. Fast forward to me, who always said to the kids, "Say good night, Gracie." And they would say, "Good night, Gracie." It was just one of those mom-kid things. And so it started with Charlie. "Say good night. Good night, Gracie." That was it. There's no person named Gracie. It's not her nickname. She doesn't know anybody named Gracie. Her name is not Gracie. It's just a thing that we do. The other thing is, what was some of the other questions you guys asked me? How do you do it all? Guys, you've been watching Cawfeetawk long enough to know I don't do it all. I fail at something every single day, and I am like, I carry as much guilt as you do about the things that you don't get to or wish that you could have gotten to. The things that distract me from laundry may be different than yours, but no less distracting. So, you know, some days I'm a great publicist and a terrible editor. Other days I'm a great editor and I give the magazine every single thing I have, but I'm a terrible publicist. Other days I'm a great wife, but can't remember what Max ate for breakfast. Other days I dedicate every ounce of my being to my children and don't know if I remember if Michael was home or not. I think that is how I balance, you know. I do the best I can with what needs my attention that day. There are days that I have so much work scheduled and then I get a call from the school that one of the kids is sick. Well, guess what? Work. I mean, it happens. Like, and I think that we so badly want to know how other people are managing because we're not managing and we feel bad. We want to look at other people and go, I need to do what she's doing so I can feel better, so I can do better. If you are looking at me, know that I too am failing many days, most days. But I'm fine with it because the level of expectation that people have, or maybe even that we put on ourselves, is super unrealistic. And my mom in the 80s, honestly, like, I'm not kidding. One time she made me eat spaghetti or egg noodles with cottage cheese inside. That's what she fed me for dinner. And then when I told her I didn't like it, she put a spoonful of jelly in there and mixed it up, which I would not admit to her then, but now I will say I actually made it taste a lot better. But the point is that in the 80s, they were feeding their kids egg noodles with cottage cheese mixed in. Ew, that's disgusting. There was no Pinterest. There was no gourmet cooking show where my mom felt a level of expectation to be making like minion cakes and Elsa perfect frozen cakes for birthday parties. My mom got a Fudgy the Whale cake from Carvel like everybody else, and you liked it. You were happy to have that Fudgy the Whale cake. All I'm saying is they didn't have the same pressure. Nobody cared what they were doing. My mother didn't breastfeed. She, to be honest, thought it was gross. She bottle fed. Nobody questioned her. Nobody said a word. Oh, you're bottle feeding me too? Hey. Like, now there's all this pressure out there to like look the part. I just want to tell you, I could never be like an actual celebrity because I eat like a man. And I have no problem making videos for you in my pajamas with no makeup. I literally went to dinner last night at the Sunset Tower, which, by the way, ladies, oh my God, Eric Northman was sitting 3 tables from us. Okay, for those of you who don't know, his real name is Alexander Skarsgård, I don't know. But his name that we all know him is Eric Northman from True Blood. Eric Northman, ladies. Eric Northman. I kept looking at him thinking, is he gonna look at me and like erase my memory? Why can't I remember what that's called? I'm a huge True Blood fan. Oh, I can't remember. Anyway, Eric Northman, I took a sneaky pic, which is like way against the rules for publicists. Like, you never take a sneaky pic of somebody else's client, but I took one because very few things make me happy. God, my kids, Sarah Jessica Parker, Eric Northman. I was so excited. But my point is, there were so many actresses in this restaurant in full hair and makeup eating dinner with their friends. And I thought, and I don't mean when we go out for a girls' night and we put on a little makeup. I'm talking about full hair and makeup, like they are, like as if they were doing a press junket. Like 40 pounds of concealer, trying to eat their salad through the makeup mask. I was like, how is it? I could not, what? This is why probably I will never, ever, ever be like a celebrity, because I would fail. They'd be like, Jamie, so tell us how you, oh, awkward. You don't do anything right. I had a whole other topic I was going to talk to you about, but I'll do it tomorrow. I love you today. Have a great day.